Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.
Love the way she ride, love the way she rock her body. Love the way she ride, love the way she rock her body. Love the way she ride, love the way she rock her body. Love the way she ride, love the way she rock her body. Love the way she ride, love the way she rock her body. Love the way.
And when did Seifert lose? All right, so
Good morning, Key. It's great to hear your voice. Boys, we are on fire this morning.
Oh, coming in hot, Diana.
Yeah,
Coming in
I
hot.
feel
I'm sorry, Diana, but when my co-host starts saying things that are just completely out of left field, I can't take it. It drives me nuts.
I'm right on the facts.
Key, you know how we roll. I'm always in your camp. So I'm sitting here going,
Okay, Diana, can you
Key,
give me
go.
Can you give me examples of we're talking about McCarthy, and he lost his job with Aaron Rodgers, and I'm saying it's exceedingly rare for a coach who's won a Super Bowl with a quarterback. While that quarterback is still great, for him to lose his job, and yet that's what happened to Mike McCarthy. And Key was able to give me one example that's similar with Seifert and Steve Young.
Well, this doesn't happen that often, to your defense, right? We don't see the situation where a quarterback is playing at an elite level and then the coach gets fired. But it does happen. And to Key's point, they either move on, retire, or the quarterback leaves like we saw in New England.
So are you agreeing with Max or are you agreeing with Keith?
Hey, but wait, let me ask y'all this though.
You danced the middle line, Diana. I saw it. I see your
They
brilliance.
call me Diana Switzerland Russini.
Yeah.
Wait, but let me ask you this. Let me ask you this though. It occurred to me in my brain. And it may be different because Max, he'll try to play the little I'm Columbia, I'm smart, I'm gonna switch it up on you. Didn't Jerry Jones fire Jimmy Johnson when the quarterback was elite after 2 Super Bowl wins?
It was a blunder, major blunder.
Oh God, here we go.
It was?
Never mind. I can't.
Look,
I can't with this dude, man.
I think the overall thing that we should be discussing here about Key, I think you'd agree here. Jerry Jones may be giving Mike McCarthy what I personally think could be the kiss of death. Why are we trusting anything that Jerry Jones says? He changed his mind after he told Jason Garrett his job was safe. 2 weeks later, he fired the guy. So Jerry wants to win Super Bowls. That's all that matters. He doesn't care about what he's saying to any coach in terms of their future. He admitted they've got the roster to win a Super Bowl. So what's the next thing on the agenda that has to get adjusted? Coaching, no? So while he's saying the right things now, let's just see. I think we got to sit here and wait, Kay.
It's a situation where I know that Mike McCarthy isn't going anywhere. Jerry hasn't said that. Stephen Jones said he's going to be the coach. Yeah. So that's Jerry talking. Jerry knows what he's doing, Diana. He wants us to sit here and talk about the Dallas Cowboys. That's Jerry's mission.
Accomplished.
Yeah.
That's it, and it's getting accomplished because we're not talking about
Quinn, is that top priority for the Cowboys?
I think for them, they need to do that. I think if you had a list off who the most important one there, it would be Dan Quinn, just based on what he's been able to do. Just even go back. Do you guys remember during training camp, Jerry kept talking about Dan Quinn during his press conferences, almost as if he was the head coach. I remember thinking, did I miss a story here? He hasn't talked about Mike McCarthy once. He was so, I guess, excited and enthusiastic about having Dan Quinn on the roster, and maybe he was just trying to sell that to us then. But I think what we saw Dan Quinn do, he lived up to the confidence and hype that Jerry had in him. But let's see if Dan Quinn is going to be able to land a head coaching job. From what I can sense, the market for him right now is obviously really good.
Dianna Russini is here giving the Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. No contracts, no compromise. Dianna, you're covering Bengals Titans. Derrick Henry passed a test with contact practice yesterday. How significant is that?
Hot news. Is that what we're doing here?
well, we don't have time for it. We got so into it,
yeah. Look, anytime you have a player who's been out for 10 weeks and he's in pads taking hits in the rain in Nashville a few days out from a gigantic.
And it scares me because now I got Derrick Henry back, right? And so it's natural for coaches when they get their toy back to forget about everything else and go back to using that toy at maximum value. And that's the thing that scares me, though, with Tennessee is that will they all of a sudden forget about everything else and start trying to just feed Derrick Henry because he's fresh, and then they get out of what got them there.
Yeah, and you know what's also interesting, Key, is that You got A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, and Derek back on the field together. We haven't seen them together since week 7. So they've actually have a lot of different options, and we haven't really seen the passing game hit a level where we're sitting here talking about it being such a major threat, because they really do. They stick on the ground, right? But the fact that they're going to have those options, and really, the guys, the story of the game is going to be how the Bengals are going to stop the run game, because their front four, they're injured. They've got a lot of injury issues on the Bengals defense right now. So, and they haven't done a great job this season of stopping the run.
Titans run versus the Bengals passing attack against that suspect secondary. Meantime, he's right. At first, it was like, don't get fooled by Julio Jones and A.J. Brown because you're running the ball. Now you're getting your running game back. Wait a minute. Don't go away from, but the good news is they got a lot of talent. Those are good problems to have. Yeah. That's Dianna Russini. Speaking of a lot of talent, one of the Lakers' big three was benched. Is that?
To talk about, I'm Ryan Smith and Vergrini. We're raring to go. Dianna Russini, Bart Scott here with me in the Seaport. Damian Woody, Lewis.